Thanks for staying tuned to Blitz. We've got our next guest on the phone line right now, Hayesville Yellow Jackets baseball coach Jeff Vardo. Jeff, thanks for taking time out of your day to be with us on Blitz.
It's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure.
Now, Coach, you had an Elite 8 baseball team, number 1 ranking in the North Carolina Class A baseball. You went 21-2, Smoky Mountain Conference champions. Put this team into words if you can.
Well, this group is a great group. They started this whole journey that we went upon. Started about 3 years ago when this group came in as freshmen, and they had a special bonding. They were very close, and they all play football and they all play baseball, and in between they all lift weights together. So the secret of this group is that they're like brothers. They're truly a band of brothers.
Yeah, and everyone knows that, the chemistry of a team goes a long way. Speak in terms of talent and what you're going to be bringing back for an encore here at Hayesville High School next year.
Well, on our post-game, post-season conference, I told all the guys, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And next year, believe it or not, we got everybody back. We only lose 2 seniors, but all of our starters are back. And this year we started 4 juniors and 5 sophomores. And one of our big pitchers, Evan Hughes, who was a junior this year, we had to close him down a little bit early. He had some shoulder problems, but he continued to swing the bat. But he'll be back 100% next year. And then, of course, Zach Wall will be back, and our whole pitching staff will be back. So we're excited.
Yeah, you gotta be bringing back all 9 starters. That's awesome.
Well, and the thing is, we got, not only are we bringing back our 9 starters, we had a couple of young sophomores that during the season really grew, and they started pressing some of our starters for playing time. So, it's going to be a real challenge, and it's a great opportunity for these guys.
That is. Now, coming into this year, though, did you ever think that you would have a team that would just completely dominate and run the table and just lose just the 2 games all year?
Well, before I came up to Hayesville, I coached down in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. In 1988, we won a state championship team. And this team up here, this group of guys, kind of melded together and had the chemistry very similar to that group of guys back in '88. So, am I surprised? No, because I just anticipated with their work ethic and all those little intangibles that we'd be in good shape.
Yeah, and that's probably what you coach for anyway. You don't want to expect anything less than that. What was the level of competition like for your team once you made the state, roughly in the Sweet 16, once you made it past that first round in the Elite 8? Talk about that opposed to the regular season.
Yeah, every level you go deeper in the playoff, competition gets a little bit better. But what we try to do here is we really don't match ourselves against the opposition. We match ourselves against the game itself. We feel like if we go ahead and we play like we're capable of playing, execute like we're supposed to execute, hey, sometimes in baseball you're going to score one more run than your opponent. That's all you need.
Now let me ask you this, because this is a little bit different. Is where we're at right here. Most of our schools we cover here on Blitz are in Georgia, Northeast Georgia, and the way they do the state tournament is you go series by series. You do a 3-game set with each team, and I believe the setup you have is one and done pretty much, right?
Well, basically it's one and done for the first 4 rounds.
Wow. So
and done. You stub your toe. You have one bad day. You have one of your key players have an argument with their girlfriend.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah, and that's got to be.
I really do think that the Georgia format is a greater indicator of the true championship.
Right. It was just kind of heartbreaking to see you guys go 21-1 and get to that game in the Elite 8 and fall out, just like you said, just one bad game without a chance to kind of redeem yourself. Was that the same way when you had it in Florida where you coached?
No, in Florida we went and we had district tournaments and it was a double elimination situation all the way up and through until you got to the state finals, and then you had a semifinal game and the final game.
So that's a little bit frustrating for you then, the way the format is.
Frustrating, but you know what? Like I told the kids, and all those kids are going to be seniors next year, that this thing ought to stick in your craw for about 360 days.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? This whole group, they had a little taste. They had a little taste of the pie.
Yeah.
And they know now that they got to work real hard and maybe get the whole thing next year.
That's exciting, and I'm sure the community probably rallied around you guys a lot. Talk about Hayesville, North Carolina community, how they've rallied around the success of the baseball team. I know the basketball team had a lot of success as well, and all the other Yellow Jacket teams respond when your team goes off on a run like that.
Well, it's really neat. We started and we'd have people come up and sit in our bleachers and watch our games, and by the time we ended up playing Hendersonville out there on that Tuesday, all of our bleachers were totally filled. And I don't know if you've ever been to our ballpark, but our ballpark sits in a little hollow, and there's like a rim or a ridge that goes all the way around the outfield. And we had cars and people all along that ridge, all the way from one end to the next. And so it was really exciting. It was a lot of fun. The kids, they get tickled to death. They go to McDonald's or they go to Hardee's or, they go somewhere and people recognize them and they pat them on the back. It's almost Hoosier-like.
Yeah, like local hero kind of things.
Yeah, it's a lot like a Hoosier type thing. The newspapers, everybody here knows everybody personally, so it's kind of a neat thing for these guys.
That is. Well, Coach, thank you so much again for your time on Blitz. We appreciate it. We definitely enjoyed watching your team this season and hope to see the same thing next year. Hopefully you go even further.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. Thank you for calling, and I really enjoyed talking with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
When we come back, we'll have some big-time awards to hand out only on Blitz.